I recently joined the President's Council of the Norma Pfriem Breast Care Center because I had attended a luncheon over a few summers ago. And I had attended a few of the center's events before, learned about the wonderful, very hard work that the center provides. But at this one luncheon, I was really inspired by the patient speaker that year. And with all of the confidence in the world, this woman stood up in front of 600 people and told her cancer story. And her words just inspired me. They inspired me to volunteer. They inspired me to spread awareness. And I am beyond honored that she is here tonight and has agreed to share her story with all of my wonderful friends and new friends. So I don't want to say much more, but I would like to introduce to you my inspiration and my friend, Champagne Joy.
Hello, everybody. Okay, so thank you all for coming. This is a cause I'm very passionate about. I'm going to tell you why. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. On November 8th, 2010, I walked into my doctor's office, a healthy, young, happy, pretty got it going on kind of gal. And I walked out a cancer patient. I was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer and started my treatment path at a preeminent breast care center in Westchester County, New York, where we live. And from the first meeting with the surgeon, we had been told how it would go. Double mastectomy, lymph nodes removed, tons of chemotherapy, lots of radiation, and drugs for the rest of my life. When my husband Michael and I started to ask questions about side effects, long-term health consequences, planning a family, we were shut down. This was a conversation about my cancer, not about me. So then we moved on to meet the oncologist. And we took a tour of his lovely pink chemo suite. And afterwards we sat down with him and his office manager, who had been running our credit, came in, whispered in his ear, and he proclaimed, "You don't have enough money to have this disease." But I've been working my whole life. I have insurance, I pay my bills. I'm married to a guy who pays his bills and has insurance and has been working his whole life. Yet, here I was getting the 1-2 punch. I've got late-stage breast cancer, and I can't afford it. So they explained that I would have to get my treatment off-site, somewhere that would take my insurance and just sort of forgive the deficit in our cash flow. So 3 days before Thanksgiving, I had my first dose of chemo at a prison hospital with slightly expired drugs. And I was the only patient who wasn't handcuffed to their chair. It was right about this time that my dear friend Mira Sorvino called me, and upon learning about my diagnosis said that she wanted to do something, she wanted to help, and she said that she had been the keynote speaker at a Rose of Hope luncheon for a breast care center in Connecticut. And she said, quote unquote, "They seem to really have it on the ball there." So she talked about having instantly bonded with a woman named Donna Twist. And how if anybody could help me, it would be this woman. So that's when the Norma Pfriem Executive Director, Dr. Donna Twist, entered our lives and rallied all her resources. Meeting Donna in an email on Thanksgiving was like being reconnected with a lost loved one. And she made it seem that she was going to get us through this. So We got in the car, my husband and I, and trooped up here to Connecticut to meet the doctors of the Norma Pfriem Breast Care Center. And everything we saw from the moment we got through the door was astonishing, such as the butterfly wall. So I walked into a place where there was a mural of pink butterflies. And I think you can tell from looking at me, it's not really my thing. And I'm glad you're laughing, because that's the next thing I noticed was I heard people laughing. And I said to myself very angrily, how dare they laugh? I have cancer. And then I realized they were all patients. And I thought, why are you laughing? You have cancer. And they were laughing, and they were smiling, and they were hugging each other, and they were hugging the staff, and they were exchanging recipes, including something about some book with Sally Casella's garden. And we were dumbfounded. And then we met the amazing breast surgeon, Dr. Mary Provost, who gave us tons of information, if we could absorb it all, and also talked about choices. And we were confused by that. And she said, yes, you have a lot of decisions to make about your care. Now, this is a diagnosis that takes your sense of self away from you, and takes your dignity, and takes your sense of control over God and man. And she just gave that all right back to us. We then met Dr. Anka Ott-Young, the plastic surgeon. And upon meeting her, we got the sense that if you made it through, she was going to make you the best you could ever be. And then we met Dr. Neil Fishback, who sat down and made me feel like I was the only person on the whole planet, and mourned for my inability to have a family, and was sad that I was sick, and was assuring me that we were going to make it through. We were going to get through this together. So we were like, oh my God, we need to be patients at this place. And we didn't know how that could ever be possible, even though nobody was treating us like second-class citizens at this place. At Norma Pfriem, they were treating us with love and dignity and a sense of family. And we asked Dr. Fishback, how can we get in on this action? And he explained that it was time for a little Donna Twist magic. And I don't know how lucky I got that day, but he got her to wave her magic wand, and we entered in and never came back out because I became a patient at the Norma Pfriem Breast Care Center. You know, this is a place where everyone gets in on it and pulls you through it. So everybody from the secretaries to the staff, to the chemo nurses, to the doctors, to Donna's staff, everybody's getting in the trenches with you and fighting. There is an expectation of you to flourish and survive. And they're not having it any other way. So we had seen what it was like with other doctors. We did a little comparison, and it was obvious to me and everyone else that this place had it on the ball, as Mira Sorvino said. So I will tell you that they have everything you will need, from the chemo chair to the hospital room, and I could go on and do a lot of advertising, but I want you to know that this is it. And I started last year, I started an organization and television show called Cancerland, which is about women with breast cancer, helping women with breast cancer. And I get tweets every day from people around the country who say, can you give me advice about dosing and side effects? And they ask me, how do you have a baby after chemo? And I realize it's because they don't have a Donna Twist, and they don't have a Dr. Neil Fishback, and they don't have a Mary Provost, and they don't have Norma Pfriem. In fact, if everything ran like Norma Pfriem, I'd get a job. So this past year, my disease progressed. I am now stage 4 metastatic, and it has moved into my liver and bones. And I continue to love and praise the Norma Pfriem Breast Care Center. And they take good care of me. And if any of you are wondering what happened to that other doctor, because my friend ran into him recently, and I'll tell you what happened to that other doctor. He actually asked about me, which is surprising, because he knows what I'm out here doing the work. And my friend explained that I'm now terminally ill. And he said, oh, metastatic, she'll be dead in a year. Oh well. And he kept walking. But I feel lucky, because my survival lofts on the wings of love. I have everything right in this room. I have my husband, and my mom, and I have Dr. John Twist, and Dr. Neil Fishback. Because you are the linchpin, you are the biggest part of this. Because some of you have given in the past, and some of you tonight bought a raffle ticket in the value of buying a mammogram. Woo! And everybody who's done before and does now going forward saves a life. These people have saved my life. And if I'm worth saving, then you have to give to this breast care center. Thank you.
Wow. Wow, how about that? I'm humbled by your courage, and I'm inspired by your fight.
Love you.
Absolutely.